What's going on, guys? Thank you guys for tuning in to A Connection TV. Subscribe, baby. Also, check out my two new channels, A Connection TV 2 and ACTV Games. When you go through those channels, subscribe and don't forget to ring that bell. Hey, beautiful people, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in to A Connection TV, the one channel on YouTube where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. I am here to talk to you guys about Real Housewives of Atlanta Reunion Part 2. I didn't talk about Part 1 because Part 1 was all over the place. Part 2 is kind of still all over the place. Shout out to Candy because she had a viewing or a special or a sit down or panel topic discussion at a restaurant. Smart ass chick at a restaurant yesterday. I didn't go. I went to the viewing of About Him 2. So I'm going to be doing a vlog video, Instagram story, whatever I want to talk about video after this. So tune into that if you want to see or hear about the About Him 2 viewing. But yeah, I didn't go to the panel, Candy's panel thing, and I didn't review Part 1 because it was just too much. So I'm going to try to dibble and dabble with this particular review about Part 2. But before I get all into that, okay, how can I say this in a nutshell? Living in Atlanta has been very taxing. The last couple of years have been very taxing. Whether or not I'm working a full-time job or doing YouTube full-time or trying to pursue my dreams. So here is the skinny, okay? In order for me to pursue my dreams, I need to have money. In order for me to have money, I need to work. If YouTube is not going to be the avenue for me anymore to receive financial blessing, then I need to get a full-time job. Like everyone else in the world, I need to get a full-time job. The strain about that, for the most part, is that there isn't anything that I would rather do but videos and acting in YouTube, which is the reason why I decided to go full-time doing it. But since bills still need to get paid, I do have to go to the slave trade and go back to work eventually. The last video that I uploaded was basically saying that once I start a full-time job, God willing, if I could find one in fucking Atlanta, I'm not going to continue doing A Connection TV anymore because unlike many other YouTubers, A Connection TV has been my blood, sweat, and tears in my life, my livelihood, period. I have over 2,000 videos, so it is a job. It has become a job. The hours that are invested are job-like. So, in order for me to continue doing that, I have to have money. Since I don't have money with YouTube anymore, I'm going to find a job. If I work 40 or 50 hours at a job, that's not going to leave much time for YouTube because I am still in pursuit of my dreams, acting and you know, commercials and things of that sort. And those schedules combined with a 40 or 50 hour full-time job is not going to leave room to do A Connection TV and the photography that I'm now contracted to do for a company. So that's what that video was all about. If you guys still would like for me to continue doing videos, you can definitely assist in that process by donating to my Patreon. It is a monthly subscription service that allows creators like myself and Quadir, who has people that support him on Patreon, and Ari Fitz, who has 200,000 subscribers that help donate on her Patreon. It allows us to continue doing videos for your viewing pleasure and entertainment. So if you would love to do that, you can definitely go down below and, you know, donate to my Patreon. It could be something as little as $1 a month. It could be something as big as $25 a month. It is completely up to you. If you do certain amounts that you donate get you certain things like live one-on-one sessions, phone calls, things of this sort. So if you would like to assist and help this man continue to chase his dreams and to still do what he loves to do via YouTube, definitely submit to the Patreon. Shout out to everyone that has already submitted. You guys are a godsend. But yeah, that's what that video was all about. It wasn't clickbait. If you waited to the end of the video. Anyways, let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yeah. So usually Andy does a bang-ass job with his interviews, with his reunion specials, with his talk show. He's really good and he controls the people that he's interviewing, usually. But this particular time, or for some particular reason, he is not controlling these females at all. they're just arguing, and no one is really getting to explain themselves. Not really, at least for not my benefit, you know, not for my benefit to where I actually care as to what they're saying and it's a conclusion to a burdening question. But needless to say, it was great to watch. We heard from everybody this particular episode, and we started this episode off with Kandi and Porsha going at it. Kandi saying that she donated $5,000 to her and it was for her, and Kenya co-signed and said, yes, it's for you, it wasn't for charity, it was for you. And then Phaedra had to say, oh, well, I donated $10,000. The amount that you donated is neither here nor over there somewhere, Phaedra. And you know, Porsha's like, no one understands the good that I do. They always want to talk about the bad. This is what I have to deal with these girls. It's so much, and you don't know what I'm doing as far as my anger management is concerned, and I'm blah, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I have to say that I watched about a good 70% of Quadair's take on last reunion, and Quadair is very interesting because he gives you a valid point, but I still think that his intensity comes from, it's hard to explain because, you know, I do the same shit. So it's like, if you like someone, you're gonna be lenient toward them. A little bit, not biased. Because y'all love to throw that freaking word out. He's biased, he's biased. I don't think Quadair is biased at all. I think he just likes one more than the other, but he's still giving valid points to support his reasoning. Bias is when you're like, oh, she did a fantastic job because I love her, but she sucked. Like, bias is saying that Mariah Carey did an amazing job in that New Year's Eve special just because you're a lamb. That's bias. She did a terrible job, but you can still like her. You know what I'm saying? You know? So I think Quadair does a good job, but even with his supportive reasoning behind his opinion, I still feel like Porsha is just a mess. She's a mess, and I don't understand why she feels like she is being bullied or can get away with whatever it is that she's doing. It's just like, she's a mess. I don't understand. Her voice is starting to annoy me. Her voice is starting to annoy me now. So, valid points. Let's get into it, right? Kandi made a valid point that her and Porsha at one time, it seemed like they had a good relationship. A cool, respectful relationship. She donated money to help Porsha along the way through Celebrity Apprentice. Why would she do that if she didn't have a care in the world for Porsha? But Porsha's like, no, 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 that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about this moment, this particular moment in time, right now. I don't even know why they, I mean, well, last season, I guess that's where their blood started to boil between each other and, oh, it's none of your business and da-da-da-da and this and that and Kandi and her people and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Whatever. By the way, Kandi, she leaving Real Housewives of Atlanta, at least that's what I've been told. And the reason why I didn't mention it in the last video is because I really didn't want to spoil it for you guys, but I really don't care anymore. So at the end of the day, Kandi is not bothered and neither am I. But from what I was told, that's what's happening. So, and I'm not going to tell you all the details and get all into that. It's none of my business. But anyways, if she does not come back, remember you heard it here first. So yeah, so my thing is Porsha. And I think I'm going to have to sum this shit up because this could be a long ass video trying to pinpoint everything that was said. Porsha, continue to go to anger management. If it's more than 2 times that we saw, like Kandi stated on the, if it's more than 2 times, continue to go to anger management. I think that her anger management is effectively working, or she's grown a bit, because old Porsha would have set off on somebody quite a few times, although she's well poised and has herself together at this reunion. We know that she got up quite a few times and left situations alone. So I mean, she's shown growth. She has. I mean, she has. This season, she's shown growth. But is that a reflection of anger management? It could be. Maybe it's a reflection of public opinion and what, you know, people say about them. I don't know. But I'm in salute of Porsha finding a way to gain ground amongst these women. If she doesn't come back for next season, I won't miss her. I think she has a successful career. She's doing her thing. She doesn't need the show. She's not a housewife. You guys already know how I feel about this. The only housewife that exists on the show is Kandi. So, you know, it is what it is. But Porsha and Candy going back and forth was kind of like a bit much, and then Kenya chiming in was a bit much. And the Porsha, we really don't care. And Candy, you shouldn't either, because at the end of the day, it's all crap. When Porsha was trying to say that people bully her, I was like, okay, come on now. Come on now, stop it. Who bullies you? Come on now, stop it. Like, what are we talking about? Bully? Cynthia bullies Porsha? What? I was like, okay, I'm done. Andy, stop. Let's move on, because there's no way in hell. Then we delves into whatever Matt and Kenya's storyline, which is just a hot mess. Because at the end of the day, it was between two women that were really annoying the hell out of me. I love Shereé, but she was pissing me off, and I love to loathe Kenya, but I will support her when she makes sense. And one right didn't have anything to do with the other's right. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shereé should have never said to Kenya, oh, that's probably why Matt's going after you, because you're provoking her. Although it could be potentially true, because Kenya is a provoker, and for whatever reason she doesn't want to admit that. She doesn't want to admit that she provokes people because she thinks that her words do not have power. Stop it! You made a song called Twirl. Going with the Wind Fabulous. Words have power because people were going with the Wind Fabulous and twirling all around. So words do have power. Your words have power. How you are perceived by people holds weight if they allow it to hold weight to them. It's not your responsibility, but your words do provoke, your words hold weight, your words hold power. So Shereé should have never said that to you, but you should have never said that to her. And both females, for whatever reason, could not just shut up and apologize to each other for the promotion of females giving into men that verbally, emotionally, and physically abuse them. Both females were very weak in their time of need for love and attention and devotion from their said other. I understand more so why Shereé went through it all, because she has kids from Bob and she was actually married to Bob. Why Kenya allowed herself to go through all that, I'm not sure. I'm really not, because the way she talks about Matt now is like, oh, I never really cared about him. It is what it is. That was so long ago. That was Thanksgiving. I'm like, okay, well, girl. But both females are completely and utterly wrong. Phaedra's divorced. Phaedra, are you divorced? Are you not divorced? It's like her dealing with the pregnancy thing. How far along are you? Okay, so here's my thing to Phaedra, and I'm sure one day probably I will meet her. One day probably, and I don't have any problems with Phaedra, but this is my issue with Phaedra. Phaedra, she made a valid point. Okay, she's going to tell you whatever she feels you need to know, because nothing is any of your business. Okay, we get that. But you're on a reality show. You're displaying your life to us. So we have a right to, if what we're viewing is false, we have a right to care and get upset if you're lying to us. How are we gonna, how is this girl on I don't understand how she's on a reality show and she's lying. I just don't get it. I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? But she doesn't owe anybody anything. If she wants to spit us fake crap, then we're gonna get fake crap. But you already know something's off with this chick. I mean, you already know. I love when she reads. Although Kenya got her ass together. Kenya got her ass together when she was like, oh yay! How long did you have to rehearse that read? You have to rehearse that? Because Phaedra was fumbling. And it was like, you know when somebody's just off the cuff because they fumble. Like, that's a problem. Like, you're not pulling in facts. You're fumbling way too much, love. And she was trying to read, but it wasn't good. This was the episode when Kenya got everybody together. She got Porsha together. She got Shereé together, although they were both wrong. And she damn for sure got Phaedra together. She presented a false document, whatever kind of document with somebody else's name on it or whatever the case might be, talking about the divorce is final, but he appealed it again. But he's engaged to Shereé, so why is he appealing? Like, this whole storyline is fugazi and whack, and you know what I see that they're gonna do? I have a feeling that they're gonna replace Phaedra with Shereé. I really feel like they're gonna do that, and if they do that, it's gonna be so janky. So janky. You already gonna know these producers are gay if they do that. That'll be really messed up, don't you think? But I think that'll be funny though. I think that'll be so funny. The session when we were able to watch the kids grow up, I thought was wicked cool. It was so nice because all of the kids, except for a couple, grew up to be very beautiful. You know what I'm saying? You already know who I'm saying is not really that hot or attractive or whatever the case may be, but that's neither here nor there because I'm not going to put their kids on blast like that, like Shereé did at that particular time. But you know, you never want to kick anybody when they're down, and you never want to talk about anybody's children, especially when you have some of your own, because your kids can get in trouble too. And you know, shout out to Cairo, who's grown up to be a very beautiful young man, but you have to stay on the straight and narrow. To all of the young viewers that are out there watching, stay on the straight and narrow. Do not emulate what you see in these music videos. Do not emulate what you see on World Star Hip Hop. That is the bane of our race's existence. Do not, I repeat, do not. But at the end of the day, it was great seeing Noel is a dime. Oh my God. And Cairo, forget about it. Aiden, and forget about it. Aiden and Dylan, forget about it. Beautiful kids. Riley, she's grown up. When Riley thins out, girl is gonna be, she's gonna be a baddie. You know what I'm saying? But all of the kids are beautiful. So I thought that segment was great. And then we get into a segment where Shereé is crying and crying and crying about, you know, Bob. And Bob is coming out on the show, which is gonna be crazy. I can't wait to see his interaction with the females. But no female on this earth, no person on this earth should endure any type of mental, verbal, physical abuse from another human being whatsoever, especially when it's in the name of love. No love will ever do that to you. No love will ever hurt you. No love will ever make you cry pain and tears of suffering. No love will ever do that. And so it was nice that they shined a light on it. You know, she said that she hasn't even told her kids. At the time of this, she hasn't even told her kids. Are you serious? You gonna open up about this whole thing to the world before your kids even know? You got this grown man Cairo still feeling and seeing his dad in a certain way, but he didn't even know that the father was beat. What? Oh my God, that's crazy. That is huge. That is ridiculously just crazy. It's huge. I don't understand why she did it. I never will understand that, because the day anybody let let somebody lay hands in the name of love. Ooh, ooh, somebody dying in the name of love. Yes, indeed. I'm serious. But you know, easier said than no, I'm not. I will never allow somebody to put their hands on me and just no, and call that love. I want to know what y'all thought about this reunion. It was scatterbrained. Randy could have done a lot. Andy could have done a lot better. All of these girls look phenomenal. Not one girl is better looking than the other. Even Kenya's titties look, they sit natural. All these girls look gorgeous. All these women are doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? And it was the best question that was asked was, how do they instill a sense of realism into these kids? Because these kids don't have to want for, well, I don't know about Shereé kids, because there's a lot going on with that family, but these kids don't have to want for anything. You know what I'm saying? Like a Dylan and an Aiden and Noel and, you know, Riley, like, want for anything. So how do they know what a struggle is? How do they get that importance of, you know what I'm saying? So that was the best question that was asked, and that didn't even come from Andy. But that's needless to say, I can't wait for episode 3. I want to know when the drama starts. You know what I'm saying? Probably got to get through to episode 4. This is a whole month of reunion specials. No other show has ever done a 4-part reunion. Leave your comments below the video. Let me know what you think. Don't forget, if you want to donate to the Patreon, definitely donate to the Patreon. Everybody talks about Culture Club when they don't even watch it, but I can continue doing all of this if you donate to the Patreon. So, love y'all. Deuces.